Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we will be reacting to
Unpopular K-pop opinions because Aespa's GMA stage was beyond embarrassing.
I don't like to do things that I don't want to do, and I don't feel the urge to achieve anything that hasn't been achieved.
You're looking to quit before you start.
Exactly.
1. Aespa's Good Morning America performance was embarrassingly bad. Painful to sit through, not one live vocal in sight. What we got instead was that sad little backing track they use when the performer's supposed to be singing live. You know the one. Muted vocals baked in just enough to support live singing but not overpower it. Except there was no live singing. So you're left with this awkward hollow mess where the vocals dip in and out like someone's testing the speaker settings mid. Performance, it was choppy, inconsistent, and
was
straight
there
up
any post by SM or any acknowledgement about the performance, or
Nope.
we don't pretend it didn't happen?
They're pretending that they nailed it.
But
Exposed-
wow. That's not a good strategy because everyone, even the K netizens, like,
So in Korea, the media is not talking about it actually.
oh, they're not talking about it at all.
No, SM apparently has the power. They don't let the media talk about it.
the fact that nothing was happening on those mics. You could practically hear the silence between the beats. Who thought this would pass? And the thing is, fans at the actual taping heard their live vocals just fine. The girls were singing. So what the heck happened in the broadcast? Who made the call to flatten their vocals into the floor and pump up a half-muted backtrack instead?
I don't know.
Like, was
if
this
you
a
can
prank?
lie.
A dare?
I
Whatever.
don't think you can lie. I don't know if you can
They're
lie.
not lying. They're not talking about it.
No, saying that the people who were there said, "Oh, we heard their vocal. They were singing." But translated on to the broadcast, they're trying to say the broadcast set them up like.
It was so obvious they weren't
No. Hold up. It's not broad. Okay, stop it. We just literally just watched BTS performing this.
No, because they said it's the They're trying to say, "Oh, it's the broadcast
Okay.
that kind of failed them."
It's the same
No.
broadcast we just watched BTS perform Idol on the GMA.
No. This broadcast is like
Guys.
very like, I wouldn't say is up to date with the technology. I would say whatever you give is what you're gonna see on the broadcast. They're not gonna manipulate it and add or take away. There's no reason for them to do that.
Yeah, like they're
So,
not gonna make you look better than you
Yeah,
are. Like,
yeah,
and
whatever you give is what you're
Yeah,
gonna get
and
on the broadcast.
as I said, we just watched BTS do this on they did Idol on the GMA, and it's come on, we cannot blame the broadcast. It was, yeah.
weren't being heard that the lip-sync accusations hit 5 seconds in. The broadcast mix was 3% mic, 97% backtrack, and 100% sabotage. Why even go on air if you're going to sound like a
Oh, and yesterday in the comments somebody said, "Oh, we can't dismiss they're tired because they're tired, and we can't
Then they
we
shouldn't
can't
have done
we
that.
can't say that." Okay, they're tired. I'm not saying they're not tired, but what they have been tired for the past 2 years. So if Aespa is always tired, at some point we have to accept that tired Aespa is just Aespa. There's no tired. They're tired. It's not that. It's not a valid excuse. Is that they will always be tired for until the end of their existence. So yeah, that's just Aespa at this point. I get they're tired, but for one, other idols I'm sure are tired too. I'm tired. You tired. Everybody's tired. So yeah, they're tired. But if we never get them not tired, then what's the point of talking about them being not tired? That doesn't
I'm actually
exist.
not tired today.
You're not tired today?
No, don't
Great.
do that.
I'm saying is, how can we idolize them in some sort of imaginary existence that we imagine that they could be this when they will never be that? Like, that's not Aespa anymore, guys. The Aespa that was not tired that existed in 2023, it's done. Finito. It doesn't exist. What we get now is tired Aespa. Accept it. It's just gonna be tired Aespa for the rest of Aespa's career. So if that's what they give, then it's garbage. I'm sorry. Like, it is what it is.
corrupted MP3. And as if the audio wasn't bad enough, the choreography was giving low-energy half-rehearsed tour interlude. Nothing was cohesive, just like most of Aespa's routines. It only really works with fast-paced camera cuts and backup dancers covering the dead zones. Take that away and what you're left with is one member flailing in the middle while the other three stand around like they're waiting for an Uber. The choreo isn't just basic. It's designed for K-pop staging, not a dead flat morning show. Floor. And the fact that SM didn't even bother tweaking it for this setup? Lazy, not one adjustment to fill in the gaps, no reshuffling to account for the missing dancers, nothing. The camera didn't know what to do either. They kept pulling back trying to catch the full formation. only to catch awkward spacing in dead air. The girls looked lost, the camera looked lost, I was lost, it was chaos, no coordination, no direction. It looked like no one rehearsed with the crew or even explained what was supposed to happen on stage. And without the live vocals, which are literally the one thing that usually save Aespa's stages, there was nothing left to distract from how bad this all looked. So instead of boosting their US visibility, this did the opposite. And don't forget, this promo is showing up a full year too late. Where was all this when Whiplash or Supernova were actually popping off? Sending them to bomb Good Morning America in 2025 is insane. And this isn't just a them problem. This is a K-pop acts doing American promo wrong problem. These kinds of shows will chew you up and spit you out if you don't come prepared. K-pop is built on lights, camera angles, tricks, effects. Strip all that away and you either stand on presence or collapse.
This is nothing new. And you have seen others done it before. So I would think you would come a little bit more prepared. Or I would say back out if you felt like, okay, they can't do it. Because that is your image, your impression to the West.
Guess which one this was? It reminds me of Blackpink's 2019 stage. No camera help, no flash, no production. Just vibes and a sad mic. These stages only work if your company fights for you to look good. SM clearly didn't. Which brings me to the obvious question. Why do companies even bother with Good Morning America anymore? No one's discovering your group from a low-effort morning slot aimed at moms sipping coffee before work. If you want exposure, go where actual fans are. Streamers, YouTube,
It's moms and the kids. Moms got the kids.
I will say this though. I don't think that they're aiming for Good Morning America. I think that's what they get. Like, the evening shows are for the bigger acts. You start off in the Good Morning, then maybe move up to the midday show, like the, what's her name, Kelly Clarkson show, Jennifer Hudson show. Those
I
are
think it's a good start, though.
those are the midday shows. Those are, so I think morning is the lowest tier that you get. Then you
It's
go
a
to
good start because I
midday.
remember watching, like, back in the day, some of the stars that are now big going on like shows like Good
Yeah,
Morning
there's
America.
nothing wrong with performing on Good Morning America. I mean, we've seen Anita on Good Morning America, I believe. Uh, Renee Rapp, I think, or Megan Trainor, one of them. Also, like, the people go perform there. It's not like, but at the same time, I think as bad as this was, we're kind of blowing it a little bit out of proportion too. Because as I yesterday said, it nobody really watches it like that. So
But you know who does watch it? The ones in the afternoon and the evening. Because that's like kind of like your stepping stone to see, okay, what you gonna offer.
true,
So
true.
if you do this on, if you treat a small platform like that, what are you gonna do on my big
You
old
will not
platform?
get a big
You won't get a
platform.
bigger
Yes,
platform.
that is true. So
That's
in
why you
that
gotta treat
sense,
every
yes.
platform that gets the biggest, so you could get an upgrade.
Yes, this is gonna be harder for them to get an upgrade. But yes, GMA is not exactly that like even so. I guess I'm saying this.
Because GMA is part of ABC.
I'm saying this that even if they nailed this and did a BTS type of performance, it wouldn't really propel them to stardom here in the States either. Like, it would be cool. We would be sitting here praising them, but that would kind of end there. They would still need to do the daytime and maybe hopefully one day evening show performances to
But it's
really
like
make
you
the
see
name.
BTS, they upgraded from GMA
But
and
yes,
then
they
through
did. They
performances
did
down
because
the line.
they killed the GMA performance.
Podcasts, literally anything but this washed out mess. But K-pop execs still think slapping a group on morning shows equals US promo. It doesn't. It's lazy and out of touch. Now the internet split between blaming SM and blaming the girls,
I
saying they should have
disagree.
had more
I don't
presence,
think
more
anything is wrong with doing a morning
Yeah,
show.
there's nothing wrong with it. It's better than doing nothing.
Yeah, what are we talking down? Like, then why do it? It's like saying, like, when you're just hating, like, oh, it wasn't even a big deal anyways. Then why did you want to do it in the first place?
I think what she's missing is that she's saying, "Oh, that's not the way to do the American promo." Yeah, but that's what you get. So that's the stepping stone. The first time you do the morning again, as we just talked about. So like you have to do it. Like if they give you that, you take it. It's not like beggars can be choosers. If that's what you get, if they basically you call ABC, say I want to send this group to perform, and they say okay, we have a morning slot on GMA. That's
I
all you get. You
remember
take it.
there was a group. I think it was one of the groups. Like, it's a ladies group. They were on the Wendy Williams show, and that was like our first time having like K-pop.
Girls' Generation.
Yeah, it was the first time having K-pop on an American show, and it was very memorable. I don't know what opportunities left. It's just the time, the time wasn't right for K-pop at this time, but they nailed the stage at that time. So it's not like and you realize the Wendy show is on the Fox network. It's on their channel 7, so you could get connections and go up from there. So it's not, I think it's like a test, like I wouldn't say is something to kind of to kind of brush off. It's something that, you know, there's going to be other executives watching,
Yeah.
because they do watch.
Yeah,
People want to tell you they don't, they watch.
it's not it's
'Cause
not
some
something to
people
brush
be
off.
surprised the conversations you don't even know people are having about you, and
L-
you
l-
don't even know.
Here's how I would say it, right? If you nail it, cool, it's not a big deal. But if you fail it, it's a big deal. Like that's what it kind of is. Like if you nail it, okay, cool, yeah, whatever. But it is not a big deal if you nailed it. But you have to at least do okay though, because if you flop it like this, it's bad. So it's like, it's if you nail it, you're not gonna be the next BTS, you're not gonna be Blackpink, but that might open some new doors. But if you flop like this, it's just bad. So it's yeah, it's kind of like that interesting, a little purgatory spot in the GMAs, because it's like it's really like a, almost if you go in, like you have to perform well, because
And you
you just
know,
have to.
I kind of think, given the quality of the West, of course we have standouts who can do it all, but here in the West, not everyone knows how to dance, but they best be sure to know how to sing live. So you got to be able to give one or the two. You have to be able to give a great
You have to give
performance,
energy.
or you have to give really, really great vocals where people are just wild. Because we saw K-pop, you saw like most of the West artists, they don't know how to dance. They don't know, but they do know how to sing and give a performance. So you have to give a performance to the level of what you can give. You can't just show up at GMAs and say, "Oh, you're gonna have a backtrack high and not sing," and then your choreo is just out of sync. You can't do that.
Yeah.
More energy, more polish, and sure, maybe. But if choreo isn't your group's strength to begin with, and you give them some half-baked formation that makes them look even more awkward, what do you expect? Set them up to fail and then
Yeah.
act surprised when they do? At 5 years into their career, a stage this rough shouldn't even make it to final rehearsals,
It
let
doesn't
alone national
represent
broadcast.
K-pop well,
Back to
for
the freaking
sure.
drawing board. 2. Someone actually
If
reported TX.
that was like album, the girl group of the, like if they were that girl, those girls last year, and that's what's representing there at the GMAs, it looks embarrassing.
Yeah, as I said yesterday, this is a bad look for K-pop
Yeah.
overall. Now, again, because not many people do watch that show, maybe it's not like that bad of a look for K-pop, but
It doesn't matter if the audience is not watching. What matters for them is the executives watching. So
no,
that's for them.
yes, but I'm saying like in terms of like average people, like, and if it's their first time seeing a K-pop act here, what they gonna think of K-pop?
Is what the execs gonna think of K-pop. They matter. They with the money.
I
the
think
connection.
execs know better than to judge the whole genre on one group, though. Like,
Yeah, but I'm not judging the whole genre, but for them.
for Aespa, yeah, for Aespa is
Yes.
bad. For Aespa is bad.
T. Subin to ICE, dead serious. Right in the middle of real ICE raids that detained 475 people at a Hyundai LG battery plant in Georgia on September 4th, including over 300 South Koreans,
Oh, in
most of whom
Georgia,
have since
I
been
don't
released
know.
and deported.
You know, honestly, South Korea should boycott Georgia, low key. Yeah, you hear in the news, they called on the Hyundai plant that's in Georgia,
Yeah.
reporting all the employees in South Korea gotta send like a plane to pick up their people, which was really, really decent of them. And I just gotta say, I don't know, South Korea should, you know, boycott Georgia or something, because what the person did, it created a lot of issues for people in the U.S. and also in South Korea. So I'm surprised that, you know, the action hasn't, you know, reflect what happened in that day for that event, because Donald Trump would say, oh, he has great relations with South Korea. Are you sure? I don't know. Do you?
Some deranged stan on X thought it would be hilarious to submit a fake tip claiming Subin was undocumented, yes, during a live immigration crackdown. And they bragged about it like it was a meme. Screenshots of the ICE tip form started floating around and news sites picked it up. Some even called it what it is, racist hate-fueled trolling. ICE hasn't done anything to Subin and there's zero sign they're even looking into it. But that's not the point. This was someone trying to weaponize federal immigration enforcement during an actual human rights crisis for clout. And let's be clear, this didn't happen in a vacuum. The raids were real, hundreds of workers detained.
I mean, they did this to Lara, right, from Cat's Eye too, so this is not the first time, and I think, honestly, the more we talk about it, the more we kind of almost inspire people to do that. I feel like stuff like that we shouldn't really talk about it because there is not much to say. Like, it's stupid, but like, what else can we say? Like, why even talk about it? By talking about it, we bring light to it.
Families panicking. South Korea literally calling. Washington asking for their citizens back. And outrage over how ICE handled it. This wasn't a drill. And in the middle of that, someone thought it was funny to drag an idol into the mess. That's federal level harassment. Also, filing a fake report to ICE. That's not haha fandom war. That's a potential felony. There are literal US laws against lying to federal agencies. The ICE tip form goes into a database. It's not anonymous gossip. If you lie on it, that's not dragging a rival bias. That's falsifying a statement to the executive branch. That's prison time if they actually cared enough to prosecute you. And frankly, they probably should. And this isn't even new. They did the exact same thing to Cat's Eyes Lara back in June. Someone filed an ICE report on her too. Even though she's a literal US citizen, fans had to step in to do the basic work of clearing her name and reporting the account. Same playbook. Make up a lie, post screenshots for likes, then hide behind oops, it's just a joke. No, it's not. It's violent. You're dragging real immigration systems. The same ones detaining people without charges into some made-up fandom mess over streams and photocard sales. Reporting an idol to ICE because your fave didn't hit #1 is not savage, it's psychotic. You are calling law enforcement on someone's visa status over Spotify placements. Like, what even is that logic? This trash also reinforces all the worst fandom habits. Doxing, platform weaponization, fake legal threats, and using real systems to hurt real people just because you don't like their face on a billboard. It's deranged behavior wrapped in K-pop profile pics. Using ICE as a fandom weapon is gross. There's no defending it. It's cowardly, racist, and dangerous. 3. Was Lee Chaein kicked off her company? WM Entertainment's CEO and founder, Lee Won-min, got kicked out after 17 years. The parent company RBW's been owning most of WM since 2021, 70% back then. Reportedly over 80% now. So let's stop acting like WM's been some cute little independent label. The second RBW got tired of his flops, he was out. They blamed poor performance and profit issues, which is corporate speak for you're not making money and your ideas suck. Meanwhile, Korean news says things inside the company were already a mess. People quitting, fights over whether WM should even bother debuting new groups right now. And RBW? They just sat back and watched the chaos, then stepped in and yanked the plug. Now RBW shoved in their own guy, Kim Jin-woo, who's already the CEO of RBW and DSP Media, and guess what? Both of those aren't exactly thriving either. So no, he's not here to revamp or inspire. He's here to cut corners, reduce spending, and make WM follow RBW's flopping playbook. This isn't about vision, it's about control. The second a parent company starts stacking all their failing labels under one CEO, you already know what's coming. Less music, recycled comebacks, and artists looking around like, so are we doing anything this year or no? And right on cue, guess who gets thrown out next? Lee Chaein. On September 12th, WM announces her contract termination with that same fake sympathetic after much discussion nonsense and a promise to support any pre-booked gigs, which is code for, don't ask us for anything new, girl. Honestly, I saw it coming months ago, 9 months back. Chaein said she had a serious spinal disc injury and wouldn't be dancing for a while. And when you're a soloist whose entire brand is dancing, that's a career red flag.
Wow.
Yeah, she did waterbomb 3 months later, which was wild considering her condition. But aside from that, she's been
I don't really know her. We never heard this name before, so I don't really have much to say about this.
off the performance grid. Her last actual comeback was Don't in 2023, and since then it's been YouTube shows and acting, which is great for her, but not profitable for the company. Especially not now when RBW is cleaning house and cutting anything that doesn't scream revenue. Chaein's current work, variety gigs, web content, occasional guesting doesn't bring in the kind of money RBW wants. No albums, no fan meets, no regular tours, and with WM already funding a brand new rookie group Aespa, the small budget that exists is clearly going there. Let's be real, Chaein became a liability. They can't market a dancer who can't dance, and she's not popular enough to carry a solo brand on non-idol activities alone. Her album sales dropped from 40K in 2022 to 19K last year. For a company of WM's size, that's not sustainable. I've seen people dragging the company for abandoning her, but I'm not really buying that. If we're being honest, WM did more for her than they had to. Multiple solo albums, decent styling, music videos, dance branding, web content, festivals, fan events. They didn't just throw her out there and pray. They gave her a full setup, but the public never really latched on. Chaein was already one of the least followed IZ*ONE members post-disbandment, and nothing in her solo career really changed that, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, you can be Pablo if your work ain't selling. That is what it is. If she couldn't sell, she couldn't sell. I mean, that's life.
She slowly faded out. And let's not pretend this is the first time she got burned by this company shift. After IZ*ONE ended, she was supposed to re-debut in a girl group under WM. They even started scouting and training
So she's from iZone, I guess.
others to build it around her. But once RBW came in and took over, whole project vanished. Trainees were released, group scrapped. She ended up debuting solo because there was literally no one left to debut with. And the momentum she had from IZ*ONE? Wasted. By the time Hush Rush dropped, she was already forgotten by half the public. And sending her on Street Woman Fighter further ruined her career. Pitting her against professional dancers only highlighted her weaknesses instead of showcasing her strengths. Idol dancing and professional dancing are completely different, but sadly, the public doesn't think about that. They just saw her flop on the show and started questioning her dancing skills,
shit.
aka her entire brand.
I wonder if she was on the season that we reacted to this year, like a couple weeks or like a couple months ago.
So what now? She could keep doing YouTube and acting. That's not a downgrade. That's just how this industry works.
Yeah, that's a parallel. YouTube and acting is definitely not a downgrade. If anything, I think maybe money. I don't even think money is less because I don't think she was making much money off music. So just honestly, just upgrade if
When
anything.
you're not pulling idol tier numbers. And honestly, a lot of former idols have already said the influencer and content creator route pays more than being an idol. In her messages to fans,
there you go.
she asked them to take care of her until she find a new label, assuring that she left on good terms. So who knows? Maybe she's the one who asked for her contract to be terminated. As for WM, I don't see a future there at all. RBW is trying to be Hybe without the infrastructure, money or vision. They're grabbing half-dead labels like WM and DSP Media, putting the same CEO in charge of everything and hoping it magically works. It won't. The Purple Kiss situation already showed what RBW does when a group struggles. They send them out on tour with no promo and prep an early disbandment. With Chan gone and the Spear struggling before they even start, WM looks like a ghost label now.
I want to tell you about a friend who
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord. As always, share as much kindness as possible.